Come on.
And action.
Welcome, Nerds fans, to the latest S&M production of the Sunday Night Sports Nerd Show. It is the most absurd 90 minutes of anything goes, smack talk, and a whole lot more. Every Sunday night, the Sports Nerd joins forces with his maniac co-hosts, whom are a select group of sports nerds with attitude, better known in Nerd Nation as the Rant Pack. These are four of the most foul-mouthed, shit-talking nerds, spitting some sick rips and rants, just enough to make you piss your pants. So listen up, Nerd Nation. Rise and welcome the legend himself. He is the founder, he is the host, and he is the star of the Sports Nerd Show. Coming to you live, straight out of Lakewood, Florida, Scott, the Sports Nerd Right.
What's up, guys? How we doing? Happy Sunday.
Happy.
Well, for some of us,
Sunday.
For some of us, it's a happy football Sunday. Anyway, we are live. My co-host, as usual, Mr. John Olson, Ken Costlow, and my executive producer, Elliot Big E Lombo. Hey, Brett, how you doing? We got a big show tonight. Lots to discuss. We had a big day yesterday in the world of football that with happenings and just crazy crap going on. We had a crazy game today with no quarterbacks involved on one team's side. So let's get through it. Let's get to it. Johnny, how you doing? I know you're happy. Congratulations on your Buffalo Bills win today.
I'm kind of like you, Scott.
Yeah.
A win is a win, but
God, it was ugly.
damn, 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter by both teams. It was just
Hold on,
awful.
What's going on,
Awful.
man?
Elliot, what's up?
I was saying what's up to Brett.
Oh, hey, Brett.
He said, hey, nerds. I'm actually going to try to follow along on Facebook today.
You're trying to follow along on Facebook. I'm impressed. How about that? Eliana, hello. And Kenny, I know it was Thanksgiving Day, but you don't have much to give thanks for after that performance on Thursday.
Thankfully, the clock finally ran out.
Yeah, because it was just brutal. Just freaking brutal.
Totally brutal, yes.
And that was against Washington, for God's sake.
Against Washington, yes. It's the second time they've smoked it this year, so that's doubly embarrassing. So less said about that, the better.
We may skim over it, but who knows?
Is Brett already talking that KC smack to you?
Oh, he's talking KC smack all day. He always does. You know, he's got he's got a freak show for a quarterback, and he thinks he's responsible for it. So he's just bragging and everything. But that's okay.
He's not?
No, he's not.
Oh, I thought he was. Damn.
Hi, Eliana. Good to see you. Yes, and Jen's here too. Hello.
Hi, Jen.
Jen's here.
Yes, Jen's here.
Jeez. Stranger danger.
She's been quiet all day, hasn't
Oh
she?
my gosh, she never even comes to my shows anymore, man. I didn't even know she's alive, man.
She doesn't come to your live shows
No,
anymore?
I don't
She waits until Sunday to pop into
She
mine.
waits till Sunday. Oh, at least she comes to Sunday. Jeez, Jen, you're killing me. Like dying here. I have problems with my ego, man. Like my ego's getting crushed.
Oh well, Jen's she's here. Yeah. Don't forget that cheetah. Whatever, Brett.
What do you got? 15 touchdowns today?
I mean, he's pushing 300 yards and he's got 3 touchdowns already.
Well, I give him his props. 203 yards in the first quarter.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah, in the first
That's
quarter.
insane. Guys wish they could play a whole game that good.
I know, right?
And he
Right?
played it in the first quarter. He's got like 50, almost 60 fantasy points right now.
Yeah, the Chiefs are just a freaking video game. Is all they are. It's mad.
They are.
No, they're a fucking cheat code. That's what they
That's true too.
Yeah, Madden 2021.
Oh,
Well, my fantasy football day is just awful. But, because guess who started Philip Lindsay? Because he said, you know what? Denver's not going to have any quarterbacks, so they're going to run it a bunch.
yeah. And Lindsay gets hurt.
They had
Lindsay gets hurt.
what, 12 running backs today?
Pretty much, yeah. And then guess who said, you know what? Let's start Christian Kirk instead of Devin Singletary, because Devin Singletary really never hasn't done much the past couple of weeks. Christian Kirk's been good for a touch. Anyways,
Christian Kirk
I'm just
kind of slowed up the last 2 weeks.
Dude, I'm like, man, who are we getting into first? Like, what are we getting in? 'Cause I got a rant.
You got a rant?
I've got excitement.
Okay, well, let's just briefly go. I had a good day, although it was stressful.
No, you didn't.
filled.
You didn't.
It was ugly.
It's time to admit it, dude. The Browns and the Bills are the most overrated 8-3 teams in the league. We are.
Bill,
I am so glad to hear you.
you know what, John? This is the first. Hey, listen, this is the first time the Browns have been 8-3 since 2007. I'm gonna just enjoy the
First
freaking
time
ride.
for me since 2000 and none.
Yeah, it's I'm just gonna enjoy the freaking ride and just let it go. I don't expect them to win anything in the playoffs if they make the playoffs. I got a guaranteed non-losing season for the first time in forever. So I'm happy. I'm ecstatic.
That's what I was about to salutate you for that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we're guaranteed not to have a losing record for the
You
first
can
time.
go 0-5 the rest of the way, and you'll finish. at
We'll
5.
finish 8-8, and I'll be tickled.
500.
I mean, especially with
You'll
the
be
offseason.
tickled pink.
Yes, especially with the offseason.
5-0.
But yet still we still get to play the Giants and the Jets. So it looks like we're going to get 10 wins this year. So we'll see how that goes.
Man, it must have been so
Yeah,
hard for
'cause-
those AFC North teams to
Yeah,
fight,
'cause
to
that look-
battle all those NFC East teams. Huh?
Yeah.
I would definitely count on the Giants and Jets because that locomotive called Tennessee is coming at you next week.
Yeah, we got Tennessee and Baltimore
Mhm.
back-to-back weeks.
Yeah,
If
that's
Baltimore's
Did you
even
see
healthy.
what-
Yeah.
Did you
If
see what
Baltimore's even
Tennessee-
healthy enough to play.
Did you see what Tennessee
Yeah.
did to that high-ranked
I
number
mean,
one?
Derrick
Colts
Henry
defense?
was it
shredded
48
that.
points or something? Like,
Derrick Henry shredded that defense like it was Swiss, like it was cheddar.
AJ
cheese.
Brown shredded that defense.
Yes.
Did you see that?
Hell yeah!
match at all?
Even in special teams.
Yes.
Madness, man.
So I mean, it was just an all-out
Thanks.
ass whooping.
Thanks, Brett. Thanks, Brett. That's awesome.
96. Wow.
That makes me feel so much better.
Gallon of gas was $1.22 a gallon.
Clinton was reelected. That was a couple years after I don't inhale. A few years before I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yeah, with that woman.
Right.
Yes, that's correct.
Clinton.
But you know what? Like I said, 8-3 is. I'll take it. They're second in the division. I mean, it's.
Maybe I'm just a realist. I don't.
Yeah,
think
I am
it's
too.
three,
I am
bro.
too. I am too. I mean, it is what it is. But I'll take it. It's like I said, it's been too damn long since we've had this good a record, and I'm going to ride that wave all the way into shore. I'm just saying.
Hey, man. All right.
Speaking of the
Go Browns.
AFC North, you guys think Steelers will run the table?
No.
No.
No, I'm not going to say they're overrated, but I don't know about you guys. I don't go, oh God, we're playing the Steelers. Like, we're playing the Steelers in a couple of weeks.
Right.
I'm not like, I'm more scared of the Chargers for obvious reasons. Like, we seem to lower expectations the worse the team is. So,
Yeah, well, you guys haven't beaten the Chargers in how long? It's been so long since you guys.
yeah, it was like four games or something
Yeah.
like that, right? But I mean, it's just the Steelers don't like they got good D, and like Mapletron is like the darling of the league, but
Mhm.
do they strike fear? Like, if the Cowboys were playing them, like, okay, maybe not the Cowboys, but like, we'll use another team.
We played them off.
Cowboys are a bad example this
behind to
year.
win that one.
But you know what I mean? Like, if your team was playing the Steelers, like.
Mhm.
This week, are you like, oh God, it's the Steelers? I'm so terrified. Like, no, it's Ben Roethlisberger.
No, because they almost lost to the Cowboys.
did that too. You know,
I mean, the
They
Cowboys
led
always
all-
beat. I mean, the
they led
Cowboys
for all
almost
of
did beat the
2
Steelers.
minutes in that
Yes.
game.
Yes, the Cowboys with what's his name, Gay or something,
Mhm.
Garrett Gabriel or some shit like that. Garrett Gilbert. There you go.
Garrett Gilbert.
With Garrett Gilbert, Pittsburgh Steelers almost lost to the
Yeah,
to the
just
Cowboys.
pour
Steelers-
more salt in that wound, Elliot. Go right ahead.
Steelers-
Pour salt in
Steelers
Ken's wound.
Led for all of 2
No,
minutes
no,
in
no,
that
no,
game.
no. I'm not trying to pour salt in a Dallas wound because that just happens automatically. You know what I'm saying? The salt is constantly pouring into that one. I'm just
Thank
saying
you, sir.
that
We have another.
The
Thank you,
Pittsburgh
sir. May I have
Steelers,
another?
hey, the Pittsburgh Steelers are vulnerable. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
They are.
Thank you. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Oh, look, it's
Hi, Matt.
it's the Detroit Lions fans.
Oh
coming in.
yeah, well we'll get into the
Hey.
Detroit Lions here eventually. After all, they played Thanksgiving Day and they had news today.
And they cut. Hey, I heard they cut a couple of turkeys after the game.
That's what I heard too. Yes, I did. All right, let's dive into it then. Thursday we had the lovely Houston Texans versus the Detroit Lions. The first Thanksgiving Day game. This was ugly from the start. I mean, it was just god awful bad.
What were they thinking when they scheduled that one for Thanksgiving?
Hey, you know what? Those are the two turkeys that didn't get a pardon.
Correct. Yes. But I mean, Detroit. They're a bad team, and poor Matt Stafford to have a high quality quarterback like that, and to put him in that franchise for his entire career, and they be disappointed every single year. He was 28 of 42 for 295. He had a touchdown and a pick. AP had some really good runs. He had 2 touchdowns, so AP looked like the old AP for a little bit there at least.
Mm-hmm.
Not the entire game for a little bit. 3 turnovers, like Matt just said, 3 turnovers in 5 minutes for the Lions. They couldn't do anything right.
On the AP side of it, guys like him have days like that on Thanksgiving.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Barry Sanders was notorious for that shit.
Barry Sanders had some of his best games on Thanksgiving, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like people, I heard stories all along about guys that are excited, like Deshaun Watson, excited about playing on Thanksgiving Day because when they were growing up, they watched that game.
Yeah.
They watched the Thanksgiving Day game.
Yeah.
So for them, it's a big thrill. You know what I'm saying?
I have lots of fond memories watching Thanksgiving Day games. I also have memories.
Leon Lett.
Yeah, Leon Lett. That was great.
That's not one of them.
No. But also the fact that I miss a lot of games because my family is not big on sports. I'm really the only one who enjoys sports of any kind. I get that from my father, not from my mother's side. And
Ken,
the games were never on. So
I know one you enjoyed, Ken.
What's
Clint Longley.
Clint Longley. I remember it well.
That was
and then the following season, he decides he's going to take a swing at Roger Staubach, and he's never heard from him again.
Yeah. We still don't know what I'm doing.
If you're gonna go after the king, you can't miss.
All right.
So the first time I remember vaguely watching the Lions play on Thanksgiving. This was about 67 or 68. And yes, I am going back a little ways. But the Eagles came to Detroit, Tiger Stadium. It had been snowing, it had been raining, and the field was nothing but mud.
Well, of course.
And the Eagles got 1 field goal in each quarter and won the game 12-0. It was the first game they won all season long.
Remember the fall game between Philly and Chicago a few years back in the playoffs?
I do.
Yeah.
Well, you couldn't even see the game on TV.
Yeah, that was a playoff game, though. It wasn't Thanksgiving.
It was.
Yeah, Buddy Ryan got the better of Ditka that day.
I remember some really memorable games on Thanksgiving. It was a lot of fun back then. I think there were 2 games in the NFL and like 1 or 2 from the AFL back then.
Yeah. So going back to this Detroit game on Thursday, it was announced today, or yesterday rather, that the Lions have fired general manager Bob Quinn and head coach Mike Patricia.
No one knows that same day.
Yeah, no one knows what the status of the pencil is, so we don't know what happened to it.
I know their offensive coordinator is stepping in as interim coach.
Yes, the offensive coordinator is going to step in as interim. And so here we go again with the revolution that is the Detroit Lions. They are reloading and rebuilding once.
The pencil got snapped.
Yeah, the pencil got snapped. Yes.
But they need
for those who don't know, it's a joke about Matt Patricia, who always has a pencil behind his ear, always whenever he's on camera. Whenever you see him, he's got a pencil up there. So that's where. So
look,
I'm sure Matt is happy that those 2 are gone. But again, Matt, you're going to start rebuilding, and there'll be more bad Detroit Lions football on TV to come. So just to let you know.
Here's the thing with Matt Patricia and Detroit and just coaches in general in that organization. It takes a special person to be in an organization where the ownership practice nothing but a losing mentality.
Yeah. Hey, Katie.
Mhm.
And somebody the other day had made a mention that said they need to go out and get a quality experience coach. And I said, well, any quality experience coach, where would you find one that wants to take that job?
Right. It's a good
You
job.
see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like the Lions over time have boxed themselves in as far as what kind of coaches they can get.
Right. Yep.
And that's what's going to take time. They're going to have to find somebody.
It never got rid of Jim Schwartz.
Yeah, they should never have gotten rid of that. I agree.
Absolutely.
Jim Schwartz was the best head coach. He hit that team since Tom.
Well, what's his name too? The guy that used to coach the Colts, the black guy. What was his name?
Caldwell.
Caldwell.
Yeah. They shouldn't have gotten rid of him either. He was a quality coach.
Yeah, Jim Caldwell was the best coach that Detroit had seen since probably who was that? Tom Flores in the back in the day, and the run and shoot, whoever it was. I don't remember his name off the top of my head. I mean, it was bad. It was ugly.
That's coach Steve Mariucci.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the mooch. He's doing worse. He's a worse commentator than he was a football coach. But anyway,
Thanks, Katie.
I think he's pretty freaking funny on the NFL network show.
Oh, those guys. The one guy I hate on that show. Sorry, Ken. What the hell is Michael Irvin still doing on freaking TV?
San Fran won.
Having an on-screen affair with
a stuffed dog.
With a stuffed dog.
Are you freaking kidding me with the stuffed dog?
San Francisco won, Elliot.
There you go.
Yeah. That means we swept
I hope
the Rams.
you guys stub all your toes next week.
We swept the. Well, I know you playing, but we got to figure out where we're going to play you first.
Arizona. That's what I heard. Because we have so much fun in Arizona.
Oh wow! You get to revisit the scene of the crime, huh?
Scene of the crime, man. Oh, I haven't even started my Bills rant yet, have I?
Is Arizona playing? They're not playing at home next week?
I don't know.
They're on the road?
They're on the road, I think.
So
okay.
Mm.
Well, we usually play pretty well in Arizona anyway, so.
Before we get to the massacre that was the Washington football team against the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
John,
I got one last thing to say about Matt Patricia.
Okay.
That was probably one of the worst hires I've seen in the last 5
I laughed my butt off when they hired him. I'm like, what the hell are they doing?
Shut the door. Thank you.
But wait, didn't I just cover that right now?
Yeah, I mean,
Detroit,
Matt Patricia was one of the worst
losing
hires.
mentality.
Yeah.
Losing
Yeah.
approach.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, I never knew much about him other than he's got an engineering degree. So I mean, I don't know what that's worth in the NFL, but to have this thing saying, okay, I've worked for Belichick for 10 years, so I can coach any team in the league.
Yeah, Jen wants us to wait for Jon's rant. She's got something to do first.
Go ahead, John.
No.
Go,
we're waiting on Jen to get back.
No, we gotta wait for Jen. No.
Jen, let us know when you get back, Jen, so we can do this.
No, I just think that he was absolutely delusional if he could think he could do the same thing that Belichick was doing. And
Patricia was barely the defensive coordinator on that team, let alone.
Yeah.
He wasn't an innovator. His defenses weren't great.
Nope.
And the Lions basically only hired him because he worked for Belichick.
Right.
And up to that hiring, every coach that came out of the Belichick tree sucked as a head coach. Okay.
Except for Matt Vrabel and right now Brian Flores.
I said up to that hiring because those guys weren't hired before. I mean, Patricia was hired a couple of years ago. I mean, the guy in Miami and Vrabel in Tennessee, those are the exceptions. And the guy,
you know what? You knew Flores was good even when they were garbage last year.
Wait a second. Time out, people. Why are we giving Bill Belichick all this love?
I'm not.
We're
I'm giving
not.
Brian
You know
Flores
what?
love.
Bill Belichick.
This
We
record
found
stands
out.
for
We
itself.
found out. Hey,
I agree.
We found out this season that New England Patriots team was all about Tom Brady. See,
Yeah, they
Brady's,
barely got to win this one.
Brady's having his problems right now because hey, they didn't have a preseason. They, there's a lot of things that they didn't,
Brady's having problems.
He's up and down, up and
He's
down.
having problems because of the system that the head coach is running in that team.
And the fact that he didn't get a chance to go over with the head coach throughout
Correct.
the preseason, what that system was all about. So, I mean, I gave Brady a half a pass for this season, but the records show Tom Brady ran that Patriots team for those 20 years or whatever.
Yes.
Okay. He was the reason they were successful. Not Belichick. Belichick did the play calling, but Tom Brady executed.
Yep.
And that's the difference.
Well,
Because
he's not doing such a good job today.
You can't duplicate that with Cam Newton or anybody else, really.
Yep.
Just saying.
Yeah, Brady. Yeah. Well, you see, Gronk has got back to the 100-yard mark this week too. He had over 100 yards receiving tonight against the Chiefs. Jennifer, get back here quick so we can get this, so John can get into his rant. I know he's biting.
Yeah, no. It's
Now she's
cool,
back.
man.
She's back. Okay, you're good to go now, John. She's
Okay.
back. All right, go ahead.
So this is it kind of goes along, right? Like what you were starting, because you thought I had this big rant last week where I was going to talk about the O-line. It's kind of like my segue into my rant is that O-lines are worth the money, man.
Yes.
This is because we talked about Joe Burrow, right, last week, like basically getting his entire knee, like everything is gone, apparently. The importance of having an O-line. And I was particularly watching the Bills O-line this game. We lost Cody Ford, who was like one of our best guards, right? And like he's out for the season. So we have these guys, these kind of call-up guys, like, they're not playing great, but you totally notice when you watch O-line play, like Joey Bosa was just going flying past. Like didn't even like. There was literally I was on Bill's Twitter and I'm reading all the tweets and like guys are like, well, let's see you do a better job. And guys are like, yeah, I would have put a hand out and touched him. I would have done a better job. Like that's how bad the O-line was protecting Josh. And when Josh gets under pressure, Josh does really dumb things.
Makes a lot of mistakes.
Like stupid dumb things. Like he there was a botched like he totally fumbled it, and instead of just going down and like securing the ball, he tried to pick it up and go again. It's just like just he does stupid things when he's under pressure. So when you have an O-line that actually gives dudes like Josh and Patrick Mahomes you're seeing right now time in the pocket, that's when good things happen. That's when amazing things happen for quarterbacks.
Look, Josh's hangnail right now is his youth and his immaturity at the position. That's all. He'll get better.
Having said that, look at the Cowboys game Thursday. In the first 5 minutes of the game, we lost 2 offensive linemen, including Zach Martin.
Yes.
And we had Andy Dalton playing, who's a seasoned veteran.
Right.
It doesn't matter what happens. I mean, if you got 2 holes you got to fill with 2 players who we're not expecting to play, that's going to happen. It's just the way it is, and that's why a lot of why we're 3-8 this year.
Yeah.
It's just the offensive line is very important.
It's critical.
And the fact that you lost Dak too.
Do what?
I said the fact that you lost Dak is why you're 3-8 as well.
Well, that's true too. But even with him there, if you still got holes in the offensive line, even Dak's going to make mistakes like that.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that Dak threw so much and scored so much that it was on the defense when Zach was in there that Dallas was having problems. Now that Dak is gone, and then I guess DeMarcus Lawrence got pissed off at the whole fucking defense and told them, "Look, motherfuckers, we need to step it up." And that's when they started stepping it up against Pittsburgh.
John's not done yet. Go ahead, John.
Go ahead, John.
Go ahead, John.
I just need to get the points in because I forget them.
No, it's exactly right. Like O-line is so important, and Brett made a point there. It's not it's first of all, it's the play calling, because you know that your O-line is shite.
Yeah.
Like that's why, like, look at last year. We had our O-line was really good, and we had really good running game. Devin Singletary went off. So Thunder and Lightning, what it was branded before the season started, this Devin Singletary, Zach Moss combo can't get started like they did today. They got like 175 yards or something together. I mean, it was great. But it starts and ends with the O-line. So you motherless goats, you
Did you say motherless goats?
Motherless goats, yes. Like,
I
Where
gotta
the
write
fuck
that
did
one
that
down.
come from? Where the fuck?
How do
did
we
you
have
have that?
Motherless goats.
You've been watching too much Borat.
how do the Buffalo Bills, please explain to the Lord, please explain this to me. How do the Buffalo Bills have 15,000 tight ends and they have no help on their O-line? Please explain it to me.
That's because they don't have. That's because they don't have any good blocking tight ends.
Oh, we have Lee Smith, who should be an O-line in himself. I mean, you know, like they threw him the ball, and dude, you want to see like stone hands catch this thing. It's just like, like run down the field. Like, oh my gosh, don't throw it to him, please, ever. And I'm sick in my stomach thinking about all of the wasted roster spots we give to tight ends from like 1940. We still have them on the roster in the Buffalo Bills organization, but we can't get O-line help. And obviously, it's pretty clear the biggest issue on offense is not better running back play. I mean, running back play is, I think, determined. Ezekiel Elliott. That's all I got to say. I mean, when he had an amazing O-line, look what he did.
Yeah.
So it's utterly frustrating.
I still think he's codependent to Dak. Excuse me.
True.
Let's face
Thank you
it.
for listening. The Bills won, though, so I can't be greedy.
Without a great offensive line, there's no way that Emmitt Smith gets 17,000 yards.
No, exactly.
It's O-line, and
Yeah.
it's finally
I mean,
these guys are getting their due and their pay.
That was arguably the greatest offensive line.
Yeah, that offensive line in Dallas during the 90s was probably one of the greatest offensive lines in the history of football. I mean, and they are the reason why Emmitt Smith is the rushing champion. And Emmitt Smith needs to send them, something expensive every year for Christmas because of what they did for him.
He does.
Yeah.
Jen, I got a story about that. That's kind of funny. Quick story, guys, and then we'll go on to golf or whatever you guys want to talk about.
No, we're not going to golf.
I got married 5 years ago, right? And my son did a speech, like when they were doing the speeches, and my son is a lot younger then. He's only like 14 when he's doing this, and really, really good. Gets in front of everybody, starts, and then he's like, "You have never experienced life." This is a 14-year-old saying this. He says, "You have never experienced life until you've been at my dad's house on a Sunday afternoon watching a Buffalo Bills game." Like you guys see, I can't be on cam when the Bills are playing.
Right.
Because I'm literally throwing things. Literally cussing. And like I'm supposed to be Christian, and I'm sitting here swearing at the stupid TV. Like, what's wrong with me? It's a problem, and I need help.
Is this a Bills Mafia deal? I mean, is it part of Bills Mafia?
Because I think it is. I think we're all like a little insane, twisted, insane, deranged. I mean, it's just, hey, we like to jump into tables and cover ourselves with ketchup and mustard because we're Bills Mafia.
And if you were about 10 years younger, you would definitely go out and do that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
But in your mid 40s, it's not a good idea, John.
Yeah, dude. Like when we go tailgating and we go to Orchard Park, like we got it done. Like we were good. Like we were having a blast and just going. But I never jumped through table. Like that's a little, that's a little
too much WWE for you, right there.
That's a little too Western New York for me.
Okay.
You gotta remind people I'm from Canada. Oh, we don't do that up here, eh? Anyways, yes, that would.
I've seen those ketchup
well,
balls.
Matty was wise beyond his years when he made that speech.
Oh yeah, it's great. I should upload it and just embarrass him because he's got his Anyways,
Another
yeah. So
tough loss for Tampa.
Tampa
They only lost by 3. That's about, and they came back in the
24,
second
yeah.
half, but they,
Yeah, well, but if they don't dig themselves in the hole in the first place, they wouldn't have to come back.
correct. Well, that's because they covered Tyreek Hill man to man with a cornerback that can't keep up with them. That's the problem.
And who's their defensive coordinator?
That'd be the guy that used to coach the Jets.
Leslie Frazier, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Leslie
No.
Frazier.
Leslie Frazier's a Bills.
No. He used to coach. Crap.
Oh,
I forgot his name, but he used to be the head coach of the Jets. While back.
Oh, Todd something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Todd.
Lionel, what's up, buddy?
Todd
What's up?
Bowles. It's Todd Bowles.
Gentlemen, my buddy Lionel's in the house.
Lionel, how you doing?
He's
man?
Lionel.
And let me just shout out to Lionel saying he is a brand new dad, a girl.
Yes,
dad.
I saw that. Congratulations.
All the picks.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes. He had a baby girl a couple weeks ago. Baby and mommy
Saw
doing
that.
great, and he'd been back to work for a week, and
Awesome.
very happy to him. Mazel tov, my friend.
Chaim.
yes.
Mazel tov.
Yes.
Very good. That's
Chaim.
I know. So sorry.
Yeah, Eliana. John reacts to Bills games show.
I get the viewers, man. I get the viewers. Like, come on.
Yes, you would. Yes, you would, John. Next up.
Just wait until we start talking Star Wars later tonight.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that.
About to
We're
happen.
gonna yeah, he's gonna have a John Gasm is what we're gonna have here when we get to that. So anyway,
2020 has struck the New York Giants again. Daniel Jones has a hamstring or some kind of injury.
Yep. Yeah, it seemed like it was pretty significant injury. It might give you a tear.
Yeah,
Okay,
he might be out
moving
for a
on.
week.
Moving on. There was a football game played in Dallas on Thursday, and only one team showed up.
Oh, wait a second. That wasn't a football
I
game.
thought we already talked
that
about
was a
that.
that was
It's
a
just like, didn't we already talk about this?
that was a Washington
Yeah, I
football.
thought we had.
Hey, that was a Washington football team scrimmage. That
Yes, it
wasn't a
was. Yes, it was a
Yes,
scrimmage.
it
Yes.
was.
41-16 was the final, and it wasn't even that close. I'm just saying. Kenny, I'm so sorry for your loss. Just real quick, Katie, you'll notice he's wearing a Packers hat for you tonight for the Bear game. Just want to make sure
We have discussed that. Yes.
And dude, it wasn't like the 10th anniversary or something of Sean Taylor getting killed?
maybe
like,
not.
yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was something.
It was, yeah.
It was a.
It was
like,
over.
it
It was
was
over
Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving holiday. Yeah.
Oh, can I send a shout out to Mitch
Yeah.
Trubisky, who's coming back tonight?
Mitch Trubisky.
Yes.
Trubisky.
So
Let's go over the quarterbacks that were chosen.
Andy Dalton
after.
was 25 of 35 for 215 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Zeke ran 10 carries for 32 yards. What the hell has happened to the Dallas running game, Ken?
We just got through talking about the
Offensive line.
lack of offensive line.
It's
He got through once or twice, and that's about it. Tony Pollard probably had more
offensive
yards than he
line.
did.
It's offensive line, and the fact that the defense doesn't have to worry about a mobile quarterback on the other side.
Correct. Yeah.
But
Andy Dalton
I
can't
mean,
move.
Yeah.
Guys, stop hating on Andy. We all love Andy here in Buffalo.
Yeah. They love him. They love him in Buffalo.
I know they love him in Buffalo. He broke their playoff string. I
Yes.
get it.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, Andy.
I mean, what more can you say about that game? And it was just.
How did you like that Matador defense right there at the end? Ole,
Yeah. Right.
just let him go through.
It looks like. And what's funny is not funny, but what's sad is it looks like that team's given up. They just flat out given up.
Yeah,
Who?
absolutely. They've
Dallas,
given up.
they've just given up.
Dallas?
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to draft pick.
they want Trevor Lawrence.
They
That's
want
right.
Trevor Lawrence. They need Trevor Lawrence.
I don't know if you can out
Actually, they
Jets the
don't.
Jets.
They
He
don't
doesn't-
if they plan
he
on
doesn't want
signing
to go
Dak.
with Judge.
You're going to draft Trevor Lawrence if you re-sign Dak.
The thing about Trevor Lawrence, I found out yesterday that he is only a academic senior, which means he could play another year
Yes.
somewhere
He's
else.
got one more year eligibility, so you can
One more year of eligibility, so he could go somewhere else. to play.
And you know what? If the Jets finish with the number 1 pick, he's going to take that eligibility.
Hell yeah, he
I
will.
wouldn't blame him.
Hell yeah, he will.
Especially the Jets
I
don't
wouldn't
fire their
blame
head coach.
Oh
Huh?
no. Keep Adam Gase forever. Forever.
if only for the press conferences, keep at it.
Forever and ever. Hallelujah.
Oh,
What was
You
that?
know, the only reason I can stomach the New York Jets playing so putridly all the time is because they play in New Jersey.
The toxic waste dump.
Yes, the Meadowlands.
I already have to deal with the New York Knicks as far as New York goes.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of the-
There's enough
Just
insults
remember-
in there to cover a yearbook.
You
Yep.
guys remember what JET stands for, right? Just in the season.
Just
end
end
the
the
season.
season.
Yes,
Just
just
in
end the season.
Love
Yes.
it.
Kind of like the Mets. My entire team sucks.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, Ken, I'll spare you the rest of that game. I know really,
Please,
really hurt.
thank you.
It was embarrassing to watch, and it was embarrassing for the Cowboys.
It was indeed.
To go along with
And I
that.
And if
remember a time when
And
we
if
were
you got
we used to
indigestion, I
be
wouldn't blame you.
invincible on Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Not anymore.
All right, speaking of
subject.
the Jets, they played the Dolphins today, and of course, it wasn't even close. It was 20-3, Miami over the Jets. Miami playing to set up that final game of the year against the Buffalo Bills for the division. Miami,
You know Fitzpatrick wants to go off every time he plays the Jets. So.
absolutely. Who would blame him?
Wouldn't you?
Yep. So the Fitzmagic was on full view today. 24-39, 257 yards and 2 touchdowns, no picks. The Jets are who they are. The Jets. They're 0.
They are who we thought they were, and
They are
who we thought they were.
Awesome.
But worse. But worse.
You got to feel bad for Sam Darnold because they have ruined him on that team.
Mm-hmm.
that entire draft of quarterbacks, save Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson,
Yes.
are in trouble, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways,
So yeah,
I do not see them winning a game this year. I think they
I
will
don't
go.
either. I don't. I don't.
Hey, you
They're,
know what?
they're, they're gonna tie the Browns and the Lions having that win 16 records.
I feel sorry for.
I don't know
Frank
if you
Gore.
guys agree with this, but has Lamar Jackson regressed just a bit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Has the league caught up to Lamar Jackson?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Defensive
And in a couple of years, they
coordinator.
may catch up to Pat Mahomes too. It's possible.
Possible.
It's possible.
No, I think they probably would have caught up with him. That dude's just special. He's a special kind of guy.
He's thrown more interceptions this year than he has in the last 2 years combined. I
Yeah.
think.
But yeah, teams that caught up to Lamar.
And he still scores 3, 4, or 5 touchdowns a game.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and then New England actually end up beating the Cardinals. I didn't see that coming at all. I mean, despite the fact that Cam Newton had a horrendous game. I mean, the guy was 9 of 18 for 84 yards and threw 2 picks. That was his passing game today.
He gave me 4.8 fantasy points.
Yeah.
But do you know that was not his worst performance for me all season long?
Oh, jeez.
A few weeks back, he had a game where he scored less than a point.
Wow.
0.8 of a point.
Yeah.
What do you get 0.8 of a point for?
Breathing.
Yes. Pretty much.
That basically means you gain a net positive of 8 yards in the game.
Yeah, I mean, they got. I mean,
I don't play in the leagues.
James White had 2 touchdowns. I left him on the bench today, but that's okay. I mean, all of New England's positives were on the ground today. It was not, and it was
Probably
not
on defense too.
Here's the thing. I've always said this, and more times than not, it stands true. And it don't matter who is playing for the Cardinals. It could have been Kurt Warner for all you can say.
Right.
The Arizona Cardinals have never traveled well back east.
That's true.
Their game always seems to suffer when they make that trip across the country.
True.
They're crossing two time zones.
Yeah, and they're not the only ones. San Diego, or now the LA Chargers,
LA
were
Chargers.
notorious for that when they played in San Diego.
Mhm.
And today, once again, they
Well,
lost.
they lost to
Bills.
Miami earlier in the year too. They lost to Miami, and now they
Yeah.
lost to the Bills. So yeah.
Mhm.
They don't travel well back east. Let's just
Because I want to get to the other topics that we have on our rundown tonight. I'm just going to
Go
skim
ahead.
over the rest of most of these games.
Okay.
We talked about the Cleveland Jacksonville game. That was loaded with bad. I mean, Baker is inaccurate. Well, for some reason, he overthrew and missed 2 wide open receivers today. He's having that issue. I don't know if he's getting squirrely feet or whatever. But they still ended up winning 27-25 over Jacksonville. And
Did you
as
realize,
a result,
hey, real quick, did you realize that Baker and Beaker were the quarterbacks in that game?
yeah, okay. Baker and Beaker.
Yeah, Beaker. That's what Mike Lennon looks like.
Mike
Beaker
Lennon looks like Beaker. Okay, yeah, from the Muppet Show. Okay, I got you. And as a result of the Jags losing to the Browns, they fired their general manager Dave Caldwell after the game today. So they're looking for a new GM. They kept the head coach, and he's got his job through the end of the year, but they did fire the GM after that game.
He'll be gone at the end of the year, dude.
Yes.
They're just trying to find a coach right now between now and then.
Yeah, and we did touch on Tennessee today. I mean, they just ran roughshod over that Indianapolis defense.
But just remember, let me point this out too. Okay, that in the months of late November and all of December, that's when Derrick Henry starts to pound everybody that he plays.
And he did that with 27.
Because a lot of these defenses are worn down by this time of the year, and a load like Henry, especially in cold weather.
Yeah. Well, today wasn't cold weather. It was in a dome, but I understand.
No. But even when the playoffs come up, even down the road.
He did last year. I mean, he pounded that Baltimore defense so hard they're still feeling the pain from that game. Henry had 27 carries all by himself, 178 yards and 3 touchdowns. He averaged 6.6 yards per carry.
What do you have to do with a beast? You have to keep feeding him. You can't stop feeding a beast.
Right.
And that is exactly what he is.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a freak of nature at the running back.
And did you guys see that AJ Brown touchdown today?
Uh-huh.
That guy's another freak of nature.
Which one?
He only had one touchdown.
He got one on special teams.
Oh, did he really?
He recovered the onside kick and ran it all the way.
Oh, that's right. I did see that one. Yes, I did see that. But the touchdown pass he caught from Montana Hill, I mean, the dude just ran away from everybody.
Well, he had to run like 100 yards to get those 60 that he got.
Yes, I know, right? Tannehill had a good game. 13 of 22 for 221 and a touchdown. No picks for Tannehill. AJ Brown, of course, was a leading receiver. But yeah, I mean, they made a statement. They're going to take a division. There's nobody going to stop them from taking that AFC South division.
No matter how hot Houston is getting.
Correct.
Right.
Giants, Bengals, nobody cares. Although Daniel.
Oh, wait a second. No. Somebody does care because the Giants are now in first place.
Until after at least until tomorrow night. Yes.
No, because Seattle's going to beat the crap out of Philly.
Seattle's going to win in Philly. I know that. So Giants are in first place. Seattle's going to beat
the crap out of Philly. Okay.
Yeah, Giants are in first place. Although they didn't.
Oh, that's right. Isn't Jalen Hurts playing tomorrow?
Yes, Jalen Hurts is back in lineup.
Like I said, Seattle's going to win tomorrow, and that'll keep the Giants in first place.
Daniel Jones.
Giants and Washington are tied, but the Giants have swept Washington. So
yeah, and Daniel Jones went down with a hamstring injury. They seem to think it's pretty significant, so that is going to hamper their quarterback issues as well. Atlanta, what the hell happened to the Raiders today? Holy cow! They went to Atlanta.
Another team that
43-6.
Another team that doesn't travel well to the East Coast.
They beat the Browns.
They beat the Browns?
Yeah, in Cleveland.
Yeah, but that wasn't really a football game with all that nasty ass.
Oh, here we go.
I'm talking about that nasty ass fucking weather you guys have up there in Cleveland. Okay, that makes football games look worse than what they fucking are.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Atlanta just smacked them around. I mean, big time mistakes by the Raiders today.
Derek Carr's a different person on the road. Plain and simple. He's a different quarterback on the road, especially.
Looks that way sometimes.
They're
a more Jekyll and Hyde team than the Atlanta Falcons.
No, but I like their interim head coach. He was down here in Tampa for a while. I like their head coach.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, they're the only ones that can claim that they've beaten the Kansas City Chiefs.
Correct.
So far.
But the Raiders had 5 turnovers. Atlanta took advantage of all of that and just ran crazy over them 43.
Without Julio
Jones.
Without Julio.
Yep.
Trust me.
And I think without Todd Gurley too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there was no Todd Gurley either. It was Ito Smith and Brian Hilde.
Yeah.
Ito.
And lastly, I mean, San Francisco beat LA. Congrats, Elliott. I mean, that was probably one of the better games of the day.
You know what's scary is that San Francisco's 5-6.
They're getting healthy.
But they're getting healthy. They
Richard
got guys.
Richard Sherman's first game back was today. Richard Sherman came back today for the first time.
And look at the way that defense changed.
Yes.
Because they totally shut down the Rams running game.
And Sherman had a pick too. So yeah, I mean, he made a big impact.
So, you know, if Kittle can get himself ready by the end of the season, he might be able to come back if they're in playoff contention.
Yeah. And in the most odd game of the day, New Orleans and Denver.
Oh my God.
Denver went into this game without an eligible quarterback on the roster.
They went in with a
All four of the quarterbacks were COVID quarantined for being in I guess not exposed, but in some kind of contact issue. It was a game of Taysom Hill versus the Denver defense, and it was. I mean, it really wasn't much of a game, but New Orleans wins 31-3. They take full control of that division because the Bucs lost to Kansas City. As for the stats, I mean, Taysom Hill was 9 of 16 for 78 yards. It was the Latavius Murray game. He had 19 carries for 124 yards and 2 touchdowns. As for the Broncos, poor Kendall Hinton.
He didn't have a chance.
He didn't have a chance.
He completed one pass in the whole game.
He completed
It was like 1 for 13 or something.
One for 9 for 13 yards.
1 for 9 for 13 yards.
Yep. Royce Freeman, Melvin Gordon, Philip Lindsay. That was the running game they had. 102 yards rushing.
Nothing.
Okay. And Philip Lindsay ended up going out and
Derrick Henry had that in the first quarter.
Yes, correct.
So Denver even get 140 yards in total offense?
Something like that. Yes. 100 no. 20. Let's see. There's 100.
I tell you one thing I know for a fact.
99.
Speaking from a fantasy perspective,
109.
a lot of Alvin Kamara fans are pissed off right now.
Yes,
that
they were.
He is vulturing Kamara's touchdowns like it ain't nobody's business.
Mm-hmm.
He has totally devaluated Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
And right now there's a hatred for Taysom Hill right now from Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, because Kamara was Brees's number 1 running back. Now all of a sudden.
Well,
and Michael Thomas ain't getting no game either.
No.
None of them. Yeah. Jared Cook hasn't seen a freaking pass in 3 weeks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's madness.
Yep. And they get to play Atlanta again next week.
Because you asked Ken, the total offensive input by my eyes here, just eyeing it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, 101, 108, 100, 113 yards total offense for the Broncos today.
Wow.
113 yards.
In the
Tyreek Hill had that much offense in half a quarter.
Yes. So, I mean, that's the rundown of most of today's games. We all just know that KC did win 27-24. Tom Brady threw a couple of picks again, so it's like 11 picks in like 7 games he's had or something like that. He did connect some long balls today. But yeah, it is.
Not comfortable with that system yet.
No. And if you're the Broncos right now, you lock everybody in their rooms and don't let them out until they're.
I got a little something I want to throw out there about that Broncos situation. In comparison to the Baltimore thing.
Yep.
When they found out that Lamar Jackson tested positive for COVID, they did everything to move heaven and earth to reschedule the Baltimore-Pittsburgh game.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. When the Denver Broncos said, look, we ain't got no freaking quarterbacks. The league basically said, fuck you, fend for yourself.
Yep.
Where the fuck is that fair?
Yep. Yeah.
Well,
they wouldn't even they wouldn't even let the Broncos, they didn't even allow the Broncos to use their, I guess he's the quarterback's coach or something.
Yeah, one of their coaches. Yeah, they wanted to use him as a quarterback.
Yeah.
He wanted to dress up and play because he knows the offense and he thinks he could have done a better job. They said no.
Yeah, I mean the favoritism showing the Ravens by the league is just
the political bullshit.
Yeah.
that Roger Goodell, of course, he's the mouthpiece for the asshole owners out there that pull this nonsense. Okay.
John has a comment. I know he does.
He's just the guy that has to take the fucking brunt of it.
Come on, John. What's on your mind?
Nothing.
Not going to go there?
No, don't care. Kind of like when they,
I'm just saying, it just amazed me that they didn't give the Broncos any kind of latitude to improve their situation.
Nope.
None.
Nope. And now,
I think they're ever going to.
So, regardless, Pittsburgh and Baltimore are still scheduled to play Tuesday night, even after having another positive test come out today. And one of the wide receivers, Willie, whatever his name is, I forgot.
Can I ask something? How on a 53-team roster do you lose 22 guys and still be able to field a team?
Because the NFL doesn't want to have an 18th week. They don't want to push the season out one more extra week. That's probably why. I don't know. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And what that is, there's a domino effect because they were scheduled to play Thursday night as well. Okay, this week the Ravens were.
Yeah, that got moved to the following Monday at 5.
Yeah, they got moved
at
Monday
8 o'clock.
So I mean, they're bending over backwards for the Ravens, but they didn't do shit for the Broncos, and it just didn't. Nope. It's not right.
Nope.
So we covered 2 topics in one on that one, guys. We covered Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and the
look at that, just banging things out, man.
Yeah. NFL has prohibited in-person team activities, meaning they can't do anything in person for 2 days. I think they canceled it for. A lot of good that's going to do, but they just said no in-person team activities, period, for 2 days. Another note, James Conner was also found to have a positive test for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That hits extra hard because he is a cancer survivor, so he is more at risk.
Right. And, I had an exchange with Bill Clark on Facebook on this one when he mentioned that Conner had the cancer. And I understand that puts him in a different type of risk category.
Right.
But you look at a guy like James Conner, anybody that plays in the NFL pretty much is a world-class athlete.
Right.
Okay. Which kind of puts him in a safer category all in itself.
Correct. I can understand that.
I believe, and then he came back and said, well, what did the chemo take out of him? I believe that he wouldn't be on the football field if he had effects from the chemo that would affect his health on the field.
Right. Gotcha.
Okay, so that's already been covered, I believe, by Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I think he'll be fine, only because, again, he's a world-class athlete.
Jim, why don't you do that again, John? Just shaking his head. What's the matter?
Why does he keep shaking his head?
I'm just sitting here. I'm not doing anything.
Are you auditioning?
Keep calling me out, man. I'm just sitting here.
Are you auditioning for a bobblehead movie?
Because we think you have something to say, but you're not saying anything. I just want to make sure.
I don't want to have anything to say about the NFL and their COVID crap. The reason why we're not 9-1 is because of that. But we'll just
hence the Tennessee game.
Yeah.
Well, actually, 8-2 because you lost that Hail Mary game. So
that doesn't.
You got to bring that up, Elliot. Don't do that. No.
Yeah, I don't think. I think in butterfly effect. I think that if we would have won that Tennessee game, we probably would have lost the Chiefs game.
Yeah.
But we would have been like, we're amazing.
Yeah.
And it would have instilled confidence into Josh
going into Arizona.
Anyways, let's move on.
Let's move on. Yes.
54-year-old Mike Tyson in the ring.
I did have that on the list. Did I not have that on the list? I did. Tyson
and Roy Jones Jr., 54 and 51 respectively.
It was an exhibition, and it ended up in a draw, even though Tyson beat the crap out of him.
Well, you know why? The judges can't outright pick a winner.
Yeah, it's not like they don't want to for anything, right?
Yeah, it's an exhibition. If it meant anything, then they probably would have given the fight.
It was an exhibition that they wanted us to pay $50 to watch, and I wasn't.
Which I didn't really care. Haven't seen it.
Nope.
Might watch it if it comes out on Hulu or something.
One guy I'll nowadays is Canelo, man.
What I've heard, they were not allowing any kind of headshot.
Oh, By the
And,
way, can I just make a point about that fight?
Yeah, go
Did I
ahead.
see the undercard?
No.
Yeah.
Nate Robinson.
Yeah. Jake Paul knocked him out. It's great.
Nate Robinson, first fight ever, went into the ring, got knocked out cold.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, people weren't very happy with that.
He must have drank a full bottle of NyQuil.
Bro, he got knocked out, man.
He got knocked
like
the
face down in the
Hey,
mat.
Remember when what's his name from Friday?
Smokey,
when he told Debo, "You got knocked the fuck out." That's exactly what they should have told Nate Robinson.
knocked him out. See, I won't swear though. I'm good.
Someone said that half the entertainment of the Tyson fight was Snoop Dogg.
Snoop's play-by-play, apparently, right?
Apparently said it was hilarious.
I didn't listen to it, man. It's as much as I liked Tyson when I was, 10 years old watching him. Like, now it's like, yeah.
This morning there was a F1 Grand Prix race I think it was in Dubai.
Oh, you're hurting for topics, man. We're talking about the car crash.
The car crash today. Yes, I want to bring this up because of how spectacular that crash was, and
he
yet
walked
the guy
away.
ended up walking away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Scary.
For those of you in Facebook, there's the link to the Twitter feed I had. And guys, I'll put it if you want to click on that and look at it. It was intense. The fire was intense. And hang on, get out of there.
Is that the Gross Gene F1 crash?
Yes, the Gross Gene F1 crash. The car get dead on into the railing, broke in half, and it looks like the entire car is engulfed.
And he's still walking away.
And he's still in there. This is an F1 car. It's not an NASCAR. It's not like it's a stock car. This is an F1 where it's open. It's the seating area is open air.
There's a little tiny cockpit in the middle of a fuselage.
Yes. And here he comes. You'll see on the right hand side. He comes out and they pops him, and he's walking away from it.
Kind of like an action movie.
Yes. He had minor burns to his hands and feet, but other than that, he is okay and he's fine. That just blew my freaking mind when I watched that this morning. Just blew my freaking mind. It is insane. Dan, I totally agree. Totally agree.
It looks like one of those action movies.
I have seen
and the guy comes walking out
killed in races like that in the past, and it's a considerably safer race event now, but it's still just as scary.
Yeah, I mean, it is insane. It really is totally insane. I wanted to bring that up a little bit. And Miranda, the death of the soccer star Miranda.
That would be Maradona.
Who's Maradona?
Maradona.
Really? You said What did you say?
I'm sorry, Maradona. I spelled his name wrong on the run.
I was looking at it and I was going to ask if you didn't know that, but
Diego Maradona.
To our footy fans, to our footy fans on the show, which happen to be Ken and John, I know. I'm sorry, I'm a moron.
Dude, you're so American.
I'm totally.
I put up like an amazing Trinidadian macaroni and pie, like
we're gonna do this
amazing cuisine. And Scott's like, I don't know what that is. I'm like, you're in Florida. How do you not know what Caribbean food is? You're in the Caribbean.
I don't eat Caribbean food. That's why.
Macaroni pie.
Whatever, man. It kills me,
it's
man.
fucking mac and cheese.
You were egging him on, man.
That's what I said. It's mac and cheese. That's what it looks like. It's mac and cheese.
No, it's not. You eat it and then tell me it's macaroni cheese. Macaroni cheese is craft dinner in a freaking box, man. It's got green seasoning and eggs and every sorts of goodness.
What is that green stuff? What is that green seasoning?
Like Trinidadian green seasoning is like the staple of Trinidad.
Yeah, man.
Where's my wife? All these guys, man. Like
between macaroni pie and freaking Madonna or whatever.
Don, I'm making mean jerk chicken.
Thank you, Ken. Culture. Texas doesn't surprise me because Texas has got the best food in all of the country.
Well, Texas food, yeah, absolutely. Barbecue, yeah.
No, it's not only barbecue. It's everything.
Well, it's Southwestern fare too, yeah.
Everything. Like I couldn't believe how good. Anyways, and Chicago too. Chicago's got good food.
I'm not sure what part of Texas is in, but I once stopped at a restaurant where they served you a 4-pound steak, and if you could eat it all in
Yes.
one sitting within an hour, you get your meal
it
for free
free.
and something else.
It's called the Big Texan Steakhouse. It's in Amarillo, Texas. It's a 72-ounce steak.
I drove through there. I went to the restaurant, but I wasn't trying to. I had to get on the road and keep driving, so I wasn't trying to eat a 4-pound steak.
What,
I have
Katie?
eaten
Oh,
there,
Katie's
but
got
it was
something to
nowhere
say.
near.
Katie's got
72
something to
ounces.
say. Oh gosh, here we go. Here we go.
Ooh,
Look
Uh-oh.
out. Casey, hold on a damn minute. Okay. Well, when Katie says something like that, I know something's going on here.
Where are you seeing this?
we're talking about
In the
food.
chat.
What chat?
I can't even see
Yeah.
shit in my chat.
Yes.
Facebook chat, she says the best food in the States is in
Oh no, listen.
Texas?
I have eaten everywhere in America. Okay. Trust me, Chicago, amazing food. It's up there. But the Metroplex is literally every single restaurant, even the hole in the walls are amazing.
And that's where I
Sorry.
live too.
I'm not saying barbecue for all the, the Kansas City barbecue people and I always get into
Hide your
fights.
wives and hide
I'll
your
laugh
kids.
at them.
I'm with you, Ken, because Ken just said
Thank
jerk chicken. Okay. He just said he makes a mean jerk chicken. For the simple fact he said that, he wins. Texas wins.
If you're ever in the
Maybe
Metroplex
New York.
again,
New
I'll make
York's
you
got
steak
some good
chicken.
places too.
Oh God, we're gonna have to.
Yes, Diego
Thank you, John.
Maradona died.
Yes.
Maradona.
Yes.
Not Maradona.
And he was. I mean,
Miranda.
Is it under suspicious circumstances?
I don't know. They're investigating the doctor, his surgeon, afterwards. After the
Well,
fact.
that's not all.
Dude, he's a national treasure. Dude.
Yes, he
They're
is.
gonna kill whoever. If somebody messed up, they're dead.
I agree.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
They are dead.
Oh, he's a national treasure, man.
Yeah.
Did
Absolutely.
you hear you hear how many ambulances they had come out to his mansion?
No.
12. 12 ambulances came out to his mansion when it was called for emergency.
Mhm.
And they're saying that none of
Does
them got
everybody
there in time to save him. So
You
So
say
that's
Well, he
Maradona.
just recently had brain surgery, didn't he?
he had a bit of a stroke,
Yeah.
minor
it is
stroke
something,
not
man.
long ago.
You say
Yeah,
Maradona, and everybody comes running.
Let's
This
be
was a heart
honest.
attack.
If you know the life he lived,
Yes.
let's just say the fact he lasted this long is
Yeah. I guess he was.
Yeah.
He was pretty wild.
he was a lush. Let's
Yeah.
put it that. We'll put it. He partied hard.
He was a drug addict.
Lots of women.
Lots of drink, lots of drugs,
Mm-hmm.
lots and lots and lots. But hey, people say it's him or Pele, best ever.
Well, Pele is more Brazil, isn't he? Isn't Pele Brazil?
Yes.
Best ever, like in the
Yeah. And
football world.
Maradona.
Legendary, yes. They Pele and Maradona, and there's
I
a few.
will give Maradona this. In the 1986 World Cup against England, he had the greatest goal I have ever seen, and that was not. I'm not talking
Not
about the hand of God.
No, the other one.
I'm talking about the one he took from midfield, dribbled all
Five
the way
defenders,
through
6
the
defenders. Yeah, stupid.
pathetic England defense and
Stupid.
scored.
Stupid.
I've only
Have you
seen one
seen
other
those
goal
highlights?
remotely like that, and that was the one that Ryan Giggs scored against Arsenal in the 1989 FA Cup semifinal.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that highlight? Scott?
No, I have not seen that.
Google it. Like, so hand of God is the questionable, whatever, but
Yeah.
then the other goal,
The one he took from midfield was absolutely incredible.
like Ken said, he literally split the defense, the entire
Yes.
defense of England, just like
It was like watching Jean-Claude Keely in the giant slalom. He just going in and out, in and out.
madness. It was madness. Yeah. But
Absolutely.
he was built like that prototypical soccer player, like,
Yes.
like the really short and stocky dudes,
Yeah.
right?
Low center of gravity.
Low center of gravity.
Kind of
dudes
like
that
Tyreek
cut
Hill.
on Was that?
Kind of like Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Little bit,
Football, yeah. But like soccer guys,
That's the ideal size
Messi's
for
built like
soccer
him
guys.
too, right? Like
Mhm.
Messi's built like him. Just this low center of
exactly.
gravity. The dudes that just are so
Exactly.
fast, but they can cut. Like that's what Maradona was, right? Anyways,
Maradona's footwork was absolutely impeccable.
yeah.
way he could dribble a ball. Unbelievable.
Did you see him in the last World Cup or a couple of ones when like Argentina's playing and he's in the stands and he's just like passing out because he's like yelling at the fans and spitting at the fans. It was great.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Anyways,
they have short legs, but they also have powerful legs. They got legs. They got thighs the size of Virginia hens.
Yeah.
So they're incredible.
Is it that time?
It's that time.
Is it that time?
It's that time. Go ahead.
That time. Get your popcorn.
Okay.
Try again, Elliot. Can't hear it.
There we go.
This segment goes out to the memory of Mr. David Prowse, who passed away this morning or yesterday, 85 years old. For those of you who do not know, David Prowse was the man inside the suit for the original trilogies for Star Wars. The dude stood 6'6" tall, was a bodybuilding champion. He was also a child, I guess when I say a child icon, meaning kids looked up to him for what he did for public safety in England, because he did that for almost 20 years. He did that. I forget the name of the program, Green something. I forget the name of the program off the top of my head. And
I've heard, and I can't think of what it's called.
David Prowse was a favorite on the circuit regarding Comic Cons and shows like way, because he would come out every time. He was very cordial to his fans. He loved his fans as much as the fans loved him. He was a gentle giant. He was a great ambassador. Unfortunately, he and George Lucas had a falling out because Lucas would not let him be the man to be revealed during the final one of the final shots of Return of the Jedi. It was some other guy, I forget his name too, but instead of David Prowse being the man behind the mask, at the end they chose somebody else to be in the suit, which was a travesty because that man gave 5 years or 6 years of his life to that character.
I'm listening. I just got to do something quick. I'm listening. I'm here for it. I'm listening.
Okay. Go ahead. And although his voice was not used, of course, it was James Earl Jones.
Right.
David Prowse got the short end of the shaft from George Lucas, and that's why they had a falling out. There was a documentary that came out years ago where this independent documentary team wanted to reshoot that scene with David Prowse at 70 whatever years old he was at the time. And I never did finish the documentary, but they wanted to put him in the suit again and to have him reshoot that scene in the suit. Shout out to that. Rest in peace, David Prowse. He was very underappreciated. I know the Star Wars galaxy of fans loved him, but the man in charge of all that did not give him any friggin' credit or any respect, and that's just wrong, very wrong.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
A good friend of mine that I used to work with was a runner, which is a chauffeur for a lot of the Star Wars actors and everything.
Yes.
For the local Comic-Con around here.
Yeah.
And she said that David Prowse is one of the nicest guys she's ever met, and the people just absolutely adored him. And it was very, very sad to lose him this week. But rest in peace, and thank you for all you did for nerds
right.
like
John, the ultimate Star Wars nerd, Mr. John Olson.
Yeah, it's rough, man. I mean, you knew of all the fallout, and you kind of wish everything would have ended perfectly. But this is it's almost a good segue into,
the next
what we're talking about. Like George Lucas, like really tried to ruin Star Wars for a lot of us.
especially with the other trilogy he did, the prequels. I
I didn't mind them. Is like I see why people hated them, but he was just very arrogant towards the fans.
Yeah.
You know, he was always like that. And one of the biggest beefs I had. Here we go. You guys ready? We're going to get into it, folks. This is super nerd stuff now.
Yes.
So all you guys sitting down, this is going to be good. The biggest beefs I had with the Star Wars franchise is that they did not follow the canon from a Mr. Timothy Zahn, who wrote the books Higher to the Empire.
Right.
These
should have been the sequels to the original trilogy. Should have
been everything. Like it was perfect. After Return of the Jedi, this story just opened up and it became like, if you read Higher to the Empire, you were in love with Star Wars. You just thought it was like the greatest thing ever. So they've tried to mix and match. And all of a sudden, this little show called The Mandalorian comes online last year. Disney Plus. Star Wars fans have breath of fresh air. This is like getting a new Star Wars movie.
The one name that got me into this was Jon Favreau. That's the main reason why I was in this, because Jon Favreau is the executive producer of The Mandalorian, and this is going the way he wants it to go, and it's beautiful.
It's perfect. And then, first of all, the second season starts with Boba Fett.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Like Boba Mother Fett. Okay. And if you've read any of the canon, you know that he didn't die.
Right.
Hi, Janelle. How you doing?
Yeah, watch your language. Janelle's in the room.
Yes, I'm not swearing. So this is fantastic. You see Boba Fett, and then you start learning more and more about the Mandalorian, the Mandalorian armor, the Mandalorian culture, everything. It's great. It's fantastic. But you saw that they were going to bring a certain character into this, and she was revealed this week.
Son of Hook. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Ahsoka.
Yes.
Right? So Ahsoka comes in. She's if you're not familiar with her, she's like the best Jedi ever, right? She's like she's from the cartoon shows, that were really good, the Rebel shows and
the Clone Wars.
The Clone Wars stuff. Fantastic stuff, right?
She was Anakin Skywalker's Padawan.
She was Anakin Skywalker's Padawan, right? So she's like in this story the top Jedi. Like she's like the bomb, right? I'm going to leave you with a little quote I got to say this properly, okay? This is a quote she just dropped for you Star Wars nerds out there like me.
And I heard this and went, oh!
Dude, I'll tell you what she said and then my reaction.
Okay.
Because I didn't get any spoilers. Thank you, Scott, for not spoiling it.
I didn't watch it till this morning, so that's all good.
Close your ears if you don't want spoilers. Okay?
Yes. Spoiler alert. Here it comes.
Now tell me, where is your master? Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?
Yes. Boom. Bam. There it is. Grand Admiral Thrawn was the main villain in those 3 books that Timothy Zahn wrote.
Villain isn't even enough like respect to give to that guy's name. First of all, like I didn't know this was coming. Like I knew Ahsoka was coming, so I was like, "Oh, this is cool, man. They're going to get into it."
Because Katie Sackhoff blew that
Bo-Katan, right. So you knew that this storyline was coming in.
Yes.
But then she says, "Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?" I'm in my bed last night when she says this, and I felt like crying. I'm like, I didn't know. Like I wanted to wake my wife up. I was like, like I'm freaking. Go look at my update status on Facebook. It's at like 3 a.m.
Yes, I saw.
I'm like, oh my OMG.
Yeah.
Like I've been waiting for this since the late 90s, man.
Yes.
When I
You know,
read Higher to the Empire, when
it's
I
a
read
Star Wars
the
thing,
Thrawn
Jim.
book from a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Like this dude makes Darth Vader look like a puppy dog.
Yes.
Like he's legitly the most fascinating character in the history of science fiction. And I'm not even trying to like blow that out of proportion.
Right.
I don't think you understand how much that meant to me last night when I heard that.
And you know what? I don't know if they're going to go in that direction or not. I don't know if this whole thing is going to come into full circle with going against Thrawn. I don't care. As long as he was mentioned, that's all that matters.
I don't even like.
You know what I'm saying?
Spin it off.
I can tell you who absolutely has no idea what it means to you.
And that's be you, right, Elliot?
Huh?
Is that you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have absolutely no idea what it means to you.
Well, for Star Wars nerds, it's a big deal.
It is a big deal for us Star Wars.
It's about as big a deal as it could be, like saying like George Lucas admits that like everything that he's done other than the first three were like a flop.
Yes.
You know, like it's huge because it was like the way that Star Wars should have went.
Yes.
And then it was just
because I remember reading Heir to the Empire and thinking, okay, this is what's going to happen next. This is what Lucas is going to do next. He's going to bring all these characters in here and he's going to make this like, you know, and all of a sudden, boom, bam, no, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, even with Hans and Leah's kid, there's actually two kids, if I'm not mistaken. There was a boy and a girl, right, John?
Yeah, Jada and Jaina.
Yes.
Yeah, from those books.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, so there would have been two, and yes, Luke was going to train him, but still, that had a whole new other storyline. It was great.
I was thinking they were going to do that with Schlick. What's her name in the new ones with Ray.
Yeah, with Ray.
Ray. I thought
more
they were going to slide her in to be that, but they didn't. Like they teased at it, and then they didn't do it.
But instead, they named him Ben after Kenobi, which that was unnecessary.
Yeah, but then she was like Palpatine's kid or something. Or
yeah, and that's what ended up was that. Yeah, Ray was Palpatine's granddaughter. That's a bunch of crap.
You know when I divorced myself from Star Wars?
When?
After I watched the first three, which were technically not really the first three, because they went back in time and put the first three ahead of what I thought were the first three, were the only three. Okay. And then I just didn't feel like going back and watching prequels.
Dude.
And that's when my relationship with Star Wars ended.
Yes.
And I would only go to the movies in the theater to watch them again, or just to watch the Star Wars.
That's where George Lucas lost a lot of the fan bases.
And that's why this is such a big deal, because this is where the canon should have went with the books. After Return of the Jedi, it should have went right into the Thrawn stuff.
And I'll bet George
Lucas
would have
kept everybody.
And I hope George Lucas is
I don't think George Lucas's vision stretched that far until after he made the three movies that he made. And then when he tried to stretch it, it was too late because people got confused.
Yes.
Right.
See, prequels weren't such a big thing back then. You know what I'm saying?
It's the only vehicle I've ever seen.
Sequels were. That's why the first three Star Wars movies. Sequels were big time. That's why the first three Star Wars movies did so well.
Yeah.
Because they went in sequence. You know what I'm saying? Once they broke that sequence and tried to rewind in the middle of the fucking movie.
Yeah.
that just blew me away. And I couldn't follow Star Wars after that.
Right. Yeah. And that's why I put this in the running, because I know John would want to talk about it.
Sorry, I just get something.
Yeah. But no, George Lucas, I mean, the prequels, the whole Jar Jar Binks storyline.
That didn't make sense.
The fact that they used as Anakin in the first one. I mean, the poor kid got blasted his entire life for playing Anakin Skywalker as a child. And then Hayden Christensen came in. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy trying to play Anakin Skywalker? He did not fit the role. I'm sorry.
Bro,
he was awful.
Revenge of the Sith was awesome.
Yes, it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, especially at the end when the whole thing came together and yeah.
Dude, I could not. Dude, I tried to sit down and watch those movies. I could not get past Phantom of the Menace.
The Phantom Menace was awful. I mean, but
because
but
Jar Jar Binks.
Attack of the Clones was worse than Phantom Menace, if you could even imagine it.
It was very.
I never got past Phantom Menace, so I've never watched the other ones. You know, and again, even the most recent ones that came out in the theaters, I only went to watch them because characters like Leia and Luke
and Solo,
yeah, and I wanted to see the ending of those stories and those.
Force Awakens was really good. I really enjoyed the Force Awakens. I also, John, enjoyed, as you know, Rogue One, which was also a phenomenal.
Rogue One was awesome.
Yeah, phenomenal Star Wars. Wasn't too thrilled with Solo. I didn't really appreciate that.
I loved Solo.
But
the Mandalorian is
is the shit right now. The Mandalorian is.
I haven't even watched one of those yet.
Oh, dude!
Anybody has Disney Plus?
My son,
Star Wars fan.
My son loves them.
Yeah, you've got to watch them.
I have not even watched 1 second of one.
Yeah,
they're literally like getting a new Star Wars movie every week. That exactly how you wanted Star Wars to go. Back when Return of the Jedi was still around. Like
because Jon wrote those books shortly after. Like it was
97, 90, 96, 97 he wrote those books.
Okay.
You don't know what that sound was?
Was it 96? I thought it was earlier than that, John.
No, maybe it might have been. Maybe 94, maybe early 90s or something. Like you'd have to Google it, but
sounded like a advertisement to me.
Just a quick second. Got to get a plug in for our sponsor.
There we go. Yes. 1991, John.
91. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. See, I read them in the mid 90s, late 90s. So yeah. Higher to the Empire, man.
Canada Dry. It makes you feel COVID free.
And I may go back and read them again. I mean, I read the first one. I don't know if I remember I started the second one. I don't know if I started the second one. I didn't read the third one. But yeah, I mean, for those of us that read Timothy Zahn's books, we always hoped that this is where the story would go in that direction because it was Timothy Zahn was brilliant.
The books were like watching the movie. Yeah. Like you literally felt like you were watching a movie where that's how good those books were.
Yeah.
So that's why it was just mind blowing why Lucas didn't go with that canon. Like go with that.
Because he didn't write it. That's why
he didn't write it. Right.
It's too much of an ego of him.
Dude,
yeah.
Thrawn is such a badass. Like you can't even begin to like describe it, man. And like the story of him, like again, like if you know the story of the Empire is kind of like a representation of this. What's the Hitler's army? Maybe like they were very
Nazi Germany,
like the SS, like they were very humans only.
Yes,
that's what the Empire was. So after the Empire fell, Thrawn takes over the Empire, but Thrawn's not human. That's what's mind blowing about his story. How he got into power, how he took over the entire thing. It was
You might want to check your pants when you're done.
Dude, that was so 10 minutes ago. Dude, I just I wish I could have filmed myself last night when she said that. I was literally 3 a.m. trying to wake my wife up to tell her this, and she's, "Shut up," you know. Like, I'm so happy. And
the actor that played her looked just like Oksana Soto. It looked just like her. And
Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, Rosario Dawson played her. She had the dual white lightsabers, which was phenomenal, which was awesome.
She kicked ass in it.
Yes, she did.
Oh, did you see who the guest star was though?
Yes, Michael Biehn.
Yeah,
Michael Biehn.
For all you sci-fi nerds out there.
Yep.
Who's that?
Terminator.
Hicks from Aliens.
Yes, and John and
Terminator.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Love it, man.
Yes.
Love that.
Wasn't he also in Silverado?
Yeah. Micah Bean's one of the greatest character actors of all time. I mean, he was in The Rock. I mean, he did a lot of military stuff. Navy SEALs. I think he was in that too. And always loved watching his movies because he could be a soldier and he just played the soldier of a character so well. Just like phenomenal.
In Aliens was still my favorite movie ever.
Yeah.
Of all time, any movie, period. Sigourney Weaver is like the bomb in that movie, but Hicks to me was such a badass.
He was.
You know, like he was put into a position where he couldn't win, but somehow he managed to make it win, you know, and they killed him off in Alien 3, which was very sad.
Without even seeing his face.
Without even seeing his face, man. That was horrible. But yeah, man, Michael Biehn, man, that was awesome. So anyways, Sci-Fi Nerd Night. Yep. You thought it was sports, folks? No.
The last segment was sponsored by May the Force be with you.
Everything on this show is sponsored by our boy. Come on now.
Yeah, so we're telling you guys, if you have not yet watched The Mandalorian, watch it.
Yes, please.
Watch it.
John and I are hooked and are deeply involved.
Oh, dude.
Deeply involved. Gentlemen, this is the last segment. How was your Thanksgiving? Kenny, what'd you do for Thanksgiving?
What did I do for Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
I had a bunch of turkey legs and wings.
Yeah.
And I warmed them up on my grill.
You were going to say, did you grill them? I figured you would.
Sorry?
I said I figured you'd use your grill for them.
Yep. I warmed them up on the grill, and I made oyster stuffing and cranberry sauce and cream peas and twice baked potatoes.
Nice.
Hawaiian rolls and pecan pie.
And a good time was had by all, I can tell.
Good time was had by all until the ball game started.
and that's when indigestion.
I had indigestion after that.
And Elliot, what'd you do?
I watched football.
Well, yeah.
Ate.
Did you have turkey?
And then tried to figure out what the fuck to do when there was no Thursday night football game.
Yeah, that was really weird.
It was. It was.
On Thanksgiving.
I actually watched the Mexican soccer playoff that night.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think I watched. I don't know what I watched. I watched some reruns or something. I guess.
Yeah, I think I did too. I did not go to my folks as per normal because of the COVID. So I was here alone. I baked a Cornish hen, some stuffing with sausage in it, green beans, some crescent rolls, mini apple pie, and just sat here and watched some football. I had a really good quiet day. It was enjoyable. John, you worked, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, gentlemen, it was a great show.
You guys were 6 weeks late to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we always are.
Oh,
yeah,
you're Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, we don't follow the Canadian calendar. We're sorry. We're really a bunch of low lifes down here.
Can I have one last short rant before we take off?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
I am sick and tired of hearing Dabo Swinney go off against Florida State for not playing that game with Clemson and saying that they more or less chickened out. And
I'm tired of hearing Dabo Swinney, period.
Yes. They don't get it. Florida State was playing.
He's Clemson, right?
He's Clemson. Florida State had little or nothing to play for, but the fact of the matter is Clemson had a player who tested positive and still traveled with the team. Florida State was every bit in their right to want to, call the game off or postpone it. They cannot make it up because they've already got a game on the 12th.
And they were canceled this week too. They didn't play this week either.
I have one question on that.
What's that?
How likable can a guy with the name of Dabo really be?
Is that his real name, or is that
Yes, that's his real name. It's Dabo Swinney. Yes.
Just like someone really called their kid Haha.
Yeah.
He has.
And not only that, but Haha Clinton Dix.
Yeah. He's becoming the NCAA
not well liked
for ego. I mean, he's got an ego the size of Jimmy Johnson. I'm not Jimmy. Yeah. Jerry Jones right now. His ego is so big.
Yeah.
Because he's got a couple of championships under his belt and he's got a great program. He's got probably the number 1 pick in the NFL draft playing for him. His ego is overshot his ass. And I'm tired of hearing his mouth. I'm tired of hearing him and his what I would call subtle racial comments. Okay. And he's just become a very unlikable person.
Racial comments?
Isn't he probably the heir apparent to Nick Saban at Alabama?
Yes.
And if this is his audition, then he's passing it with flying colors because he'll fit right in Alabama, which is where he's from anyway. So.
Yeah, he's a white guy from Alabama, John. So go, take it as you wish. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
I don't know about America. You guys need to hug it out. Like,
oh yeah, we do. No doubt.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey. We can't get close enough to hug it out.
That's a COVID. All right, guys.
That's all.
What a great show. And a great ending to the show, John. That was great. I love that back with the Star Wars stuff. That was awesome. I mean, it's phenomenal. And it's amazing where this show is taking it. And
it only took 30 freaking years.
And it's been renewed for a 3rd season. So we got plenty more coming. So we're even excited. I'm so excited about it.
Stupid if they stop this now.
Yeah. All right, fellas. We're going to cut it out. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on behalf of my cohorts here, my good buddy John Olson, my good buddy Ken Costo, and of course my executive producer, Mr. Elliot Big E Lamba. I am the Sports Nerd. We are the Sports Nerds, and we thank you for watching. And we'll see you next Sunday. Elliot, play my outro, please.
Well, there you have it, Nerds Nation. Another Sunday episode of the Sports Nerd Show in the books, and we're actually still alive to tell about it. Now, on behalf of our hosts, Scott, the Sports Nerd, right? John, Bob, and Ken, the 3 other lovable members of the Rant Pack, and yes, me, Big E. The entire pack would once again like to thank you all for participating with us in the best 90 minutes of sports smack talk on the web today. So until next Sunday night, dear nation, we want to leave you with a quick PSA. Please stay safe. Please practice social distancing. And for fuck's sake, please wear a fucking mask. You just got hit with a pack rant from the Rant Pack. And with that, fellas, we are